Hello. Hello, how y'all doing? Welcome to Black Talk Show. I have Dr. Eva, and I have Ask Miss Logan, Antoinette Logan. I don't want to I was want to say Ask Miss Logan, but I better say your name, Antoinette Logan.
Yes, thank you for having us so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show, y'all. Can you introduce yourself, Dr. Eva?
Of course. Hello, everyone. It is such a pleasure to be here. My name is Ewa Kleczyk, and I look forward to the chat and speaking a little bit about what I do and how I hope inspire others to follow my steps. So thank you.
Okay. Now, Antoinette, can you tell us about yourself and about why you're here?
Absolutely. My name is Antoinette Logan. As she mentioned, I am the founder and CEO of the AIM agency. We are a creative agency that focuses on brand development and lead generation strategies. We take our clients from idea to brand, brand to business, business to elevation and profits, pretty much meeting you where you are to help you achieve your next level business goals. The reason we're here today because my nonprofit, International Icon Inc., has now started 3 programs, where one of them being the GILA Awards program. The GILA Awards program is the Global Icon Lifetime Achievement Award program, where we honor and recognize global icons who are making a major impact globally around the world in their own communities and abroad. In that program, we also honor icons who received the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from our current President and Vice President, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The only difference of the 2 awards is really about where you reside. If you live in the United States, you would also qualify for the presidential. If you don't, you would only qualify for the global. It's very interesting how we got to this point. A lot of people are more familiar with the Iconic Speakers Network and building that platform for speakers to globally expand their brands in as little as 90 days using my PPP strategies. I was actually awarded the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award, and just to see how that recognition changed the trajectory of my business in a great and positive way, I wanted to be in a position where I could honor other people who were deserving and actually doing the work already, making an impact and inspiring others to do the same. And that is really how we got to where we are with International Icon Inc., more known as youaretheicon.org.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Eva. You received the awards. So you tell us a little about receiving the award. How?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I want to thank Antoinette for a wonderful opportunity to be recognized. And I think the GILA Awards was a wonderful event where we had it in a very private setting, be able to recognize, there were 3 of us, 2 of us got the Presidential Award, and really celebrate our achievements. The diversity of achievements and the impact, not only in the United States, but also global, is really tremendous. Thinking about the healthcare part, thinking about the spiritual part, thinking about women, uplifting women, and really helping them get where they need to be. And I think the award setting and the great mission that Antoinette has is really helping all women across the world think about it, how they can impact their communities and really motivate them and inspire them and give them the toolbox to succeed in whatever they are thinking about. I always think about that it's not about how big the impact is, but can you think about one person that you impacted, and then they impact someone else, and the network is growing. And I think that's what we celebrated, and that's what we were, what Antoinette and her gala really helped us understand, that it's not how many people are showing up. It's not how many people are there or how many people are really working through. It's the impact that you have overall. And overall, for me, I'm going to be a big proponent for everyone to be really engaging and thinking about it, what it means to be recognized, but also working hard for it. Being recognized by the president and having the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award is really something that we all want to aspire to and be inspired by those ahead of us who have achieved it. And hearing Antoinette's story and then learning a little bit more about what she has done, I'm really a big fan of thinking about what this network and what this award and what this gala can do for many young women, many women in the minority groups and any underrepresented groups overall, to really give them the platform to present what they do and succeed moving forward. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. So I was going to have you talk about what you do, your business, what you do in your career, and how you help women.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. So for those of you who might not know much about me, I work for a healthcare and pharmaceutical research organization, and we do a lot of analysis leveraging data that is available, helping make the right decisions for patients, increasing patient outcomes, increasing the access. And that's a very important topic to me, because we all know that there is still a lot of work that we all need to do in order to bring the right therapies, provide access for many of our communities, as well as bring in important drugs and medications to front and improve the level of diagnostics. But one of the things being in the industry has really struck me is that in the healthcare analytics area, there isn't really many women entering that area. It's in the STEM. Not many women are interested in technology and analytics. So my goal and mission is really presenting how we can impact someone's life and ensure that someone has the proper care at the right time. We are analyzing data. We are working through different solutions and thinking how that can impact not only now, but in the future, creating the right policies. One of the goals that I think always is how myself as an executive woman in the industry, how I can help spread it and ensure that young women want to really get involved. In recent years, unfortunately, due to COVID, many women chose to leave the industry. A few organizations have reported that women are more dissatisfied with their current jobs than men are, and especially after COVID. So since 2015, we've seen quite a decline in women's appreciation and satisfaction with what they do. Even more importantly, at the more executive levels, we've seen many women, especially at the beginning of this year, a highly prominent individuals such as the Prime Minister of New Zealand, the CEO of YouTube, leave their posts and say that they were really impacted by burnout and receiving and leaving the organizations. For myself, being an executive woman and knowing the work that women ahead of us have done, it really struck the chord with me. And I'm trying to think about it. What do we do to ensure that once we get to the level of leadership, have the seat at the table, which we all have been striving for? That's what the equality movements have been. That's what women have been fighting for. How do we retain those? How do we change the table? So when we are burned out, when we are at the table, the discussion can be changed, and young women after us, especially in the STEM areas, can really come in and feel like they are part of that group. So that's part of my mission. That's what I've been trying now discuss and think about it, what I can do as an executive, especially in the healthcare industry, where there's a lot of women on the care side, on the analytics side and technology side. There's plenty of work that we need to do to bring the diversity in. And I mean diversity, not only women, but minorities. Think all of the underrepresented groups, immigrants, and really shape it to represent the areas, the groups that we need to represent when it comes to care, treatment, and giving the equal access for everyone to have. All so right. That's in a nutshell.
Thank you. Also, Antoinette, you have anything to share?
To be honest with you, she's hitting all the points. As you can see, that's one of the reasons why she received the Global Icon Lifetime Achievement Award, as well as the recognition with the Presidential Lifetime, because that's what it's really about. Being an icon is not just a thing we say. It's actually doing the work to lead people in their own lane of leadership and impact. You know, it's not about like holding people in a space and controlling them per se. It's more about giving them the opportunity to use their skills and the best parts of them to grow beyond their biggest imagination so that they can do the same for those in their path. So, you know, I'm grateful to have been able to share space and honor these women. Two of them aren't with us due to scheduling, but it's really a great feeling to be able to recognize people who are doing so much in their own communities, in their careers, and in different parts of the world for the things that they're doing. It does the heart a great good, for sure.
Wow. Who were the other two ladies that received the award also?
Carlotta Gabriel and Sandy Goldstone.
Okay.
And it's so interesting to learn that not only are we talking about you making an impact globally, but International Icon Inc. is truly about diversity and inclusion. So, excuse me, we really are like reaching people all around the world. The people that we're honoring are at different places. We have Dr. Ewa from Poland. We had Sandy from Australia. Carlotta is from the Caribbean. You have us from the United States. So here we are, all different people, different places, but we still are coming together for a common goal, which is to make a positive impact on the world with the thing that we are great at. It's a perfect place to be, operating in your genius, walking in your purpose, and truly making a difference with those who do encounter in your journey.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, Dr. Eva, we want to talk about some of the things that you got coming up. I think can you elaborate on that?
Sure. So, as many probably, or maybe not many people know, that this year it's a year that the International Women Association is celebrating equity. We've been thinking about equality for many years, and I think the fact that many of us women can be at the table is a very important aspect. But the one thing that is still we are striving, and some of the challenges are coming in, is ensuring that equity is also thought of. So if you think about what equality is, giving everyone the same resource, the same access to the opportunities. But very often no one thinks about that some of us might not have the same access to the right resources to get us to that level. Yes. So really bringing in the equity part of the conversation and thinking about it, how we in our normal lives, in schools, in a work of play, a place of work, and everywhere else, can really identify who are the individuals who need that extra help. And the extra help is really to help them get to the level where they can then succeed. For example, being able to understand how they can obtain certain information, how they can apply to go to school, how they can get a scholarship, how they can leverage the resources they have in order to have the same opportunities. From my perspective, very often women fail or don't necessarily proceed leadership positions because they feel that the table doesn't fit them. They have different needs. They have childcare, they have parents' kids. It's a year that the International Women Association is celebrating equity. We've been thinking about equality for many years, and I think the fact that many of us women can be at the table is a very important aspect. But the one thing that is still we are striving, and some of the challenges are coming in, is ensuring that equity is also thought of. So if you think about what equality is, giving everyone the same resource, the same access to the opportunities. But very often no one thinks about that some of us might not have the same access to the right resources to get us to that level. Yes. So really bringing in the equity part of the conversation and thinking about it, how we in our normal lives, in schools, in a work of play, a place of work, and everywhere else, can really identify who are the individuals who need that extra help. And the extra help is really to help them get to the level where they can then succeed. For example, being able to understand how they can obtain certain information, how they can apply to go to school, how they can get a scholarship, how they can leverage the resources they have in order to have the same opportunities. From my perspective, very often women fail or don't necessarily proceed leadership positions because they feel that the table doesn't fit them. They have different needs. They have childcare, they have parents' care, they require certain aspects. So one of the things that I've been trying to promote is really the power of women's network at the place of work, and helping organizations realize when you create a space where women can talk about the aspects, minority women, LGBTQ group, and all of those underrepresented groups that never really been thought of or very well thought of in the employment areas, I think is a very important aspect. So I try to always think and advise those who are thinking about creating a new group in their organization. Think about it. What is your focus? Where are you headed? What is the aspect that you are trying to focus on? What is the objective? Talk to the people who might be part of the group that you are thinking about bringing in. What are their questions? What are they trying to do? If you are thinking only about leadership opportunities, but they are thinking about it, how do I balance my day-to-day work with the childcare that I need to be giving to my children? Maybe you need to think about, do you change a little bit the agenda and create a framework that is going to be conducive to this. The second thing is that I always tell individuals is think about it, how who is going to be your sponsor. It's in your organization there has to be someone from HR or an executive who really has the passion for the same common goals that can help you create that equity, that give you that support, that you can then ask for resources, you can then create the appropriate agenda and really fuel this. And then finally think about how often you're going to meet and what is your starting event. Most of us don't think about it, that the starting event really sets the atmosphere for the new organization. What is the topic you're going to discuss? Who are your speakers? Who are you thinking about bringing in to the next sessions, or what are some of your goals? And really get the feedback from others whether that's going to work for them. And if when we are thinking about how women don't really gather together and talk about these aspects, hopefully the organization and the place of work can help them come together, gather, share, and find the support that they need. Because more often than less, we all are facing the same issues. We all are thinking about it. How do I get to the next level? What is the imposter syndrome that we all feel? Am I going to be good in that position? How am I going to be received? How do I become more assertive? And so forth. So I think all of these aspects are very important for all of us to think, to support each other, and ultimately create the equity that we require in order to get to equality. Someone once told me, which I really love it, equity is a means for equality. You cannot have equality without the equity. And I always want to think about it and think, how do we achieve it? Because that's the most important part before we can get to the next level.
Yeah. And that's just kind of like with my talk show. I try to bring people on to tell their story, tell what they're doing in the world, because we all have some part, we have a place in this world. We all serve a purpose. So I just like to have people come on and talk about what they're doing, and all that you're doing is awesome. And also what Antoinette doing is awesome as well. Y'all are doing great things, and we need more of that, more of the like we can meet each other. Me and Antoinette just met not long ago, and she stay in another state and I stay in another state, and now I met you. So this internet thing is got us where we can meet people all over the world. So I think we have more chances of getting together and bringing a change to the world, not just in our communities, but also helping our communities.
Absolutely. And I would also say that it allows us to present it while we all might have a different perspective. Very often we all agree on many aspects. And I think the diversity of thought is very important, but also realizing that we all start from the same base and talking about the different, more difficult aspects or the more difficult topics. And everyone's stories is so unique that we can all learn from what they've come through. But then we also realize that one thing everyone has, we all struggle at some point, right? We all have the same question. We all have the same insecurity, and we can create a network where we can all support each other. And again, even if we help only one person or inspire one person to do something based on what we are saying, that means a lot, because that person is going to inspire someone else. And I think that good in the world and the support comes through very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. So when we talk about this GALA award, is there any criteria for them to meet it? Just Antoinette, or that just what are the steps? Like, do you reach out to people, or they come to you, fill out application? What is the steps to get the award?
Well, it depends on which program that you're actually looking to join. With the GILA program, the GILA is, we offer the awards on 2 different programs, but GILA is specifically when we partner with another organization to honor the people that are leaders and impact makers in their network. So an example would be how you, Black to Black, have a plethora of entrepreneurs, leaders, and impact makers worldwide, right?
Yeah.
So we would partner with you, and then your network of people. Let's say you were having a conference or something, like you're doing the GALA event. So let's say for that particular event, you want to also honor people in your network. We partner with you for that particular time frame at that event, and we supply the award to you and your network. We are a certified organization with the government agency who produces the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. So we just basically share our certification with other organizations who do not possess it, and we honor them. We organize the entire awards show from beginning to end. You don't have to do any event planning. You don't have to look and think about ordering anything. We do everything. Even the organizers of your company. So even you could receive an award because you're not directly organizing the event. Our team is, but you still as an impact maker are able to receive the award. The only thing that it takes is to actually be making an impact and doing service in your communities. For the Lifetime Achievement Award, you need to have a minimum of 4,000 hours. For the Global Icon, it's a number of 6,000 hours. But in reality, that is easy because we're talking about a lifetime here. Excuse me. We're talking about, if you think about 4,000 hours, that's someone who's been making an impact for at least 4 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a lot. Most of us have already earned the right to receive these awards, but most people don't know that it even exists or how to tap in. So when I was nominated for my award, I received the info from someone that I didn't know. They said that I was nominated, sent me this beautiful email, and I simply shared the nomination email on my social media pages, like a content post. And I instantly had people in my inbox that were looking to book me. One lady reached out and said, "What does it take to get you on our stage? It's phenomenal that you received this nomination." I hadn't even received the award yet. Nothing in my hand. So that made it real to me, that said, you know what? I'm all about global brand expansion. I'm all about impact. I'm all about service. I'm all about helping people make it to the next level. I wanted to see more people that not just in my community that I'm connected to, not just those that look like me, not just those that are doing the same thing as me, but anybody that was actually making an impact and doing the work to help somebody else other than themselves. That is why we have this today. On the other side of the International Icon Inc., with the Iconic 100 program, the difference of that and GILA is the Iconic 100 Awards program is our program that we run solely on our own. So we have multiple categories of Iconic 100 Awards. You also have the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award included in that ceremony as well. It's a lot that's happening on this end, because what a lot of people don't understand is people only know what you tell them.
Yes.
People can only see what you show them. So if you're doing the work, if you're making an impact, You've got to position yourself within your marketing, within your branding, for people to know really what you're doing, how you're doing it, and the impact that you're making. And this program through International Icon Inc., these 2 award shows is just one of the greatest ways to showcase that in a massive way. We also have the Iconic Community Program within International Icon Inc., and that is simply where we will plan your event for you free of charge, as long as it's a business event. Now, does that mean that we're going to take every single person on that signs up? No. What that means is you would submit your details for your event, and then our team would look it over. And if it fits within our schedule and the time frame that you're looking to have your event, then we'll take it on and plan that event for you free of charge, because this is a nonprofit. Does that mean that the whole event is free? No, that does not mean that. Yes, you have to pay for branded and marketing assets. Yes, you have to pay for venues and things like that, but you don't have to have the headache of planning the event out, because we have a full team that can do that for you. That is the main situation with the International Icon Inc. It's really all about educational, informational, and advocacy and awareness campaigns, and of course the recognition and honoring with the awards.
Okay, that sounds good. I was going to ask Eva about the equity. You was talking about that. Can you explain that in the healthcare? Can you explain that more so the lay people can understand?
Sure. From the healthcare point of view, the equity versus the equality. Equality is everyone receives the same, let's say, access, right? But while it might be going towards the same access, not everyone might be in a place or a position where they can have it. For example, rural areas will not have the same access to the hospital. So how do we bring it in? For example, the telecommuting for the healthcare to all of your
teledocs and stuff like that.
Yes, a teledoc, right? So that helps with really getting the access. The same as when we are thinking about the urban areas in the cities. Sometimes there are communities that don't have the same care. How do we bring it in? It's really creating the educational aspect of it, where they can go in. Thinking about, and we are talking here about diverse backgrounds. We all know that healthcare sometimes can be not equitable from the point of view how individuals are being treated. We don't think about it. Now there's probably more programs when it comes to cultural aspects, right? How do we ensure that physicians and healthcare givers are providing, or healthcare providers understand the background individuals come from, the challenges they are facing, and really try to remove some of the biases, but also help create the platforms where individuals who might not have the same level of access or ability to connect with the provider, they can have it, but also help the providers understand the challenges that are coming in, because in this case the equity comes in from both sides, right?
Yeah.
We have to equalize. In order to get to equity, we need to make sure that both the healthcare providers, the system, as well as the citizens of this country can really be have the right resources to have the right access to care, the diagnostics, and ultimately the treatment. So the education, providing all of the aspects of telecommuting, and then the appropriate cultural backgrounds as well.
Okay. I don't know if you know that my tagline for my show is called Bodacious Dreams with Radical Faith. So I want to ask you, what is your bodacious dream with radical faith?
Oh wow, that's an interesting. Well, I would want to see more and more women or women leading a lot of the healthcare analytics organizations. I'm doing what I'm doing is because I'm very passionate about healthcare analytics and bringing the right, improving the outcomes that we have currently in healthcare, but also encouraging young women to go into analytics and technology. We need the diversity of thought. We need the representation. And maybe it's not as radical, but thinking about for having at some point actually equal or more women in the area of technology and analytics in healthcare, especially, I think is where I would like to head, and see in the next few years that number not only become equal, but actually exceed where we are currently. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now Antoinette, Oh, she's talking right now. I was gonna ask you, what is your bodacious dream with radical faith? I,
Um, in a nutshell, is to truly see entrepreneurs thriving as the CEOs, the iconic CEOs they truly are. When we start that entrepreneurship journey, you have this big vision and this big old goal. But if you don't really have the steps or have the know-how, there's a whole lot of roller coaster up and downs that happen. And I'm here. There are people like you, Dr. Eva, and others who are in position to give you the help, the assistance that you need to truly reach that next level and threshold. Even myself, I've done a lot, I've done so much, but there's another level that I want to reach. There's many other levels that I want to reach. So I too have my set of coaches and mentors that are help walking me down the path, literally almost like holding my hand. And it's funny that I say that because I don't have the type of personality that I can hold somebody's hand for a long time. I have the type of personality where I can give you the info and let you take action and go for what you know. And then if you come across a problem, you call me back, right? But here I am, that same student when it comes to my mentors and my coaches, that I'm like, oh, wait, I ain't doing nothing until they tell me what to do about this particular thing, because this part I don't know. So it's a great space to be in. And again, my dream is to see entrepreneurs fully thriving is the iconic CEOs that they dream of, that they want to be, that they see themselves as. And most times, often than not, it's all about just actually saying, I am her already. I am him already, and showing up as him or her in each moment. It can be difficult. It can be tough. It can be scary. It can be fearful, but you still got to do it. We didn't get a chance to talk about some of the challenges that came with the GILA Awards, specifically in New York City. There were so many challenges that were beyond our control, on the hands of others who were not as professional, not as efficient, not as honest, not as transparent, and so many other words I could use. I'm trying to keep it nice. Did I keep it nice, Dr. Eva?
Yes, you are.
Because when I tell you, there were so many problems, and their problems became our problems, because to produce the GILA Awards, there has to be a partnership in place, right? Because it's a partnered program. So we had to overcome some major things. We had been planning this event from May until the day of, but as of June 25th, we had to replan the awards like from scratch, and a whole new venue, whole new everything, right? And again, that was because of the mishaps and the inefficiency in someone else. And we overcame that together. We were still able to make it happen and give the experience that each of these honorees deserved. Because again, why would we make their experience not be as great when they've actually done the work to receive this recognition? So we had Black cars to come and pick them up from their hotels and bring them to the location, food, wine, you know, all the things that we could fit into the award ceremony to make it very special for them. So again, just to see entrepreneurs thriving is my big, bodacious, radical dream.
Okay, all right, thank you. Before we go though, I would like y'all to like, how important is self-care? Like when you doing this, like you got this as an executive, as a person that's doing all this work, how important is self-care?
Self-care is super, super, super important. Me personally, I often, when I get busy with a project, I often neglect a lot of my self-care needs that most people might be like, oh, that's nothing. But those small things are truly something. Don't get in the habit of being the busy entrepreneur who doesn't have the time to care for self. Self needs to always be first. Definitely always be first. I'm about to go and see 6 or 7 doctors because I wasn't taking care of self, heart, neurology, things like that. So it's very important to put self-care first. because you can't make an impact if you aren't well. You can't help someone if you aren't well. You can't do the thing that you're great at. You can't operate in your genius. You can't walk in your purpose if you are not moving in a happy and healthy self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's very important to take care of self. And now more than ever, do I know that and am about to be walking it. I got a few more days of work that has to happen. And then after that, it's all about catching up and truly focusing on self-care.
Okay. And Dr. Eva, what?
Well, absolutely. I'm with Antoinette here that probably we all know that we have to do self-care. Sometimes when you are in the midst of it, it's much more difficult to really do this, but we all have to think about it. And I would say yes, in my position, the higher I go, or when we become executives and leaders, individuals are watching us, right? So if we don't represent what the model is, they pick it up and they see how we are behaving, and ultimately we are doing this. So if we really care for our people to really to
How far is that from
take care of themselves, we ultimately created, if we don't do this, they will not follow that, and it's gonna be bad for everyone around. So I always say is try to do it, make the time for it, prioritize it, and always remember someone else is watching you. So if you want to create an example, you have to be the example, and you have to live what you teach, right? You have to step in that line and do it. Otherwise, whatever you're inspiring for might not go as far as you think, because people are going to say, well, it's easy for you to say, but do you actually do it? And we have to live it. We have to live the truth. Otherwise, it doesn't make as much impact as we think.
Okay. So for our, can you give us the final remarks or anything you would like to say or add that we didn't get a chance to talk about?
Well, I would, first of all, thank you so much for having myself and Antoinette on the show here. It was a privilege being here and sharing the story. But I would always want to say for everyone is, first of all, everyone has a different pathway in their lives. So let's celebrate the differences, the diversity, what we have gone through, where we have been, and really create your own story and celebrate it and share with others. Success can be defined in many different ways. For some of us, it is being, like for myself, it's being an executive woman. For others, might be having a small business. For someone else, might be being a good parent and a good caregiver. These are all very good examples of what success is. Define it, be good with it, live your truth, and try to inspire someone else. Whatever that is, I think there is plenty of room for all of us to do good in the world and really helping someone else to live their truth and do whatever they are, and motivate them and inspire them to go to the next level. So thank you again for having me here.
Thank you for coming. Okay, you have any final remarks, Miss Antoinette?
Well, the final remark truly is to show my gratitude and appreciation to you. One thing I like to say is that you're always showing a lot of support to, I would assume every entrepreneur in your network, because I'm constantly seeing the support that you give. So thank you for having us and allowing us to showcase what the GILA Awards is all about, but also the very important work that Dr. Eva is doing. When you come into the GILA Awards program and you're honored by us, it's not just coming to a ceremony to receive an award. It's also the part about receiving a full-blown press campaign for your business and brand. So we're focused on making sure that we truly stick to what we're all about in the first place, which is that global brand expansion. So we really appreciate you having us and just giving us a space to share, educate, and inform. Thank you for all that you do and just for sharing that bodacious dream, because you truly are making dreams come true.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate y'all coming on the show. I think we had a good conversation. You gave a lot of information, and I hope y'all can come back another time if you ever want to come back on and share something that you have coming up, or any kind of information you want to share. You're welcome to come back. And I thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.